Hey, it's Jermaine, that was your customer growth guide. If you're new, welcome. If you're old, welcome back to the fold. This is video number 4 of 4 in the Customer Mastery series, and we're looking at integration today. We've covered the 3 core components that define the likelihood of you achieving outcomes with your most important customers, and this is how we integrate those different ideas and those insights from that process of looking at goals, looking at outcomes, looking at strategy into one clear format so you can achieve the outcome you want. So let's look at integration of these ideas. And just before I collect, if you're actually in this video and you haven't looked at video 1, 2, or 3, go back there right now, because this won't make any sense unless you do so. Video 1 is all about outcomes, video 2 is about goals, and video 3 is about strategy. Go and have a look. So let's think about the outcomes now. The first piece around outcomes that we want to view is this whole idea of the goals. So we want to now, once you've gone through defining the goals, testing the goals, ensuring that they're the right kinds of goals that we want that help us move towards the outcome, we want to document this goal. So we're going to just do a practice goal right now together. So let's just say the goal is to contact 20 customers. Yeah, 20 customers. So that's what we want. The goal is to contact 20 customers. And we're going to contact 20 customers within the next 2 weeks. And in those conversations, the goal is to get specific opportunities that are worth 6 million. Yeah, that's what we want. So you want 20 customer calls with next 2 weeks to give us opportunities up to 6 million. That's the goal that we want. The next piece here is around the challenge. So we ask ourselves, well, what might get in the way of us actually achieving this specific goal? What might get in the way? Well, some things that might get in the way could be, I'm actually traveling. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe it's travel. Maybe you know that some of your customers aren't in the country. Maybe they're away. So contacts are away. Maybe there's some other parts, but we need to just document, hey, there's some things that are in the way of achieving this 2-week goal. So now we move on to the next piece. Well, what's the core policy here? So how do we shape and reshape the way we think about these specific goals? And this is all about the strategy, how we apply different areas before formulating the strategy. So we've got these constraints, these challenges here. We know this is the goal. The policy here is this. Well, if I'm traveling here, if I know that I'm traveling, my customer is not going to be there, a core policy here is I actually need to contact these people within a week if I'm going to be traveling. So actually I only have 1 week. So now my policy, there's some constraints there around actually creating the strategy. So it needs to be done actually within 1 week. They all need to be over the phone because I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to a different location to the customer. And I don't have any budget. There's no budget for me to go give gifts, do different things with the customer. Those are my constraints. That's the core policy in which I need to shape the strategy. So the strategy needs to be designed in a way that I can make calls within a week to all those 20 customers. I'm only using the phone, and it has to be free for me to do. There's no extra budget for it to do that. So now we go to the strategy. So now we say, okay, so what's the strategy? What options do we have to actually achieve this goal or achieve the outcome? So get the goal that moves us closer to the outcome. So in order for us to get to this particular goal, and the outcome being, we want 6 million in recurring revenue. That's what we want. That's the big outcome. That's the realized outcome that we want. So the goal here is to have these 20 customers conversations within 2 weeks that gives us these opportunities. We know that we're going to be traveling. We know that the customer is going to be away for part of that time. So constraints we have under the policy, we have only 1 week. We can only use the phone and there's no real budget to do it. So what's the strategy? Well, let's just think about this. Let's just imagine that we begin to look at where these specific customers are. Maybe they're actually all in one particular place. Maybe they all know each other. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to connect customers together and have one single call. I don't know. You would have to think about it. But let's just say, for sake of argument, that it's this. So the strategy here is to design call to have multiple customers in call. That could be the strategy. So now I can get more customers on the same call, pitching the same kind of idea, and create a funnel that allows me then to create appointments with the customer, or the customer to self-create appointments with me in order to continue the conversation. That could be a clear strategy. Now, does it work? Can I do this within 1 week? Absolutely. I'm already using the phone. Doesn't require me any new budget. And now I've got a creative strategy to get me there. So you can see immediately, by going through the process of thinking about the goals that we have, the strategy that we have, the challenges that we're trying to face, the outcome that we actually want, we can go through a clear process here of being able to define how we actually go about achieving a specific goal. But we cannot do that without understanding what's in the way, what particular constraints are there before we actually think about the strategy. And equally for these goals, up front, we need to think about how relevant these specific goals are. Do they actually move us closer to the outcome? How important is it? And should it be done now? So once you've gone through this, you should now have in your own guide, if you've downloaded anything directly throughout this video series, an opportunity for you to create your own strategic guide, a way for you to evaluate the strength of your actual goals, the quality of those specific goals, whether or not you've really understood the challenges, you understand the constraints that exist to define and design that strategy, and then now you're able to actually create the strategy that fits the actual goal and moves you towards the outcome. How great is that? So now, in your own business, you can do this with your teams, you can do this for yourself, you can even do this with your own customers. But these are some of the most effective principles being used right now in business schools around the world to think about how we design strategy. So that's been the 4 videos in the Customer Mastery System. If you have, over the 4 videos, really got a lot of value from this, I'd like you to like, subscribe, share it with your colleagues so they can get benefit and value from it as well. And in the next series that I do, I want you to be part of that, commenting, communicating with me so I know how I can best serve you in the future. And I'll see you soon.